I've missed doing YouTube. I started it and then I started working again and I just did not have as much time as I think I would have. Thought I would have. I'm clearly really good at English. The baby brain's going really well, in case you were wondering. So, a bit of a life update. We've relocated to Tasmania, which is exciting. So, fresh new start. I'm now 27 weeks. It's going quite quickly actually, and it's really starting to sink in that, oh my god, I'm going to have a real life human to keep alive in like 3 months. So I have plenty of stuff to organize before then. But yeah, the last few weeks has been hectic. So we went over to Bali in June to help our friend run her retreat, and then we had the cars packed up before we left, and then we drove down to Victoria, saw my family, then we got on the boat to come to Tassie and got the keys to our rental, and we've just been moving in, organising furniture, sorting out all the things like internet and electricity and water and all that sort of stuff. So it's been a little bit crazy, and also really exciting. So I'm looking forward to being here and just nesting finally. I've wanted to nest for so long, and cooking food again. I mean, we were always cooking food, but we did go through a couple of weeks there because we were traveling so much of eating not the best food and probably not moving as much as I'd like to. So my focus for the rest of this pregnancy is to move my body every day, get my steps in, drink plenty of water, take my supplements, and cook whole foods, nutritional foods. I want to go to the markets every weekend and stock up on fresh fruits and veggies. And yeah, that's the update. So I thought I'd do a bit of a review on international travel while pregnant. So before we left, I think I was about 23 weeks when we went, and I did get a clearance from my doctor just in case the airlines asked for it. A few people told me that they would. However, no one asked me. I don't know if anyone even noticed. I had quite a baggy jumper on, but yeah, I was fine. So what I've done is I've written a list of pros and cons about my experience traveling to Bali while pregnant. So some of the pros I had was that the people were so lovely. I'm gonna put my little list here actually. The people were so lovely, super nice, super friendly, had a good laugh with a lot of people, which was really cool. And the scooters were really fun. So I was when we went, I was like, there's no way I'm getting on a scooter, especially not pregnant. And after the first day of walking down the street, I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrifying, get me on a scooter. So really loved the scooter rides, they were so fun. And by the end of it, I felt quite comfortable on the back of one, which was good. I didn't drive, I just sat on the back, but luckily Brad was a good driver. Indonesian food. Got to try lots of yummy food. We had, at the retreat that we went to, we had a local lady come and cook food for us, and it was pretty much all vegan. So that was really cool, being able to try so many different like curries and salads and different things. And that's one thing that's really great with Indonesia, is there was so much vegan food in terms of like so many options, so many different cool things. And the Gojek app, I think it's called, that was so handy for ordering food, especially when we had Bali Belly for the week. We could just order food in, which was great. In terms of a holiday and the cost of a holiday, pregnancy, burps. It was relatively cheap. So that was another pro, was that if you're looking for a holiday that's where you're not forking out heaps of money, apart from flights, they were a little bit on the more expensive side. However, over there, between the two of us, I'm not even sure what we spent for the week. I don't actually know, but I think it was less than $1,000 actually. So yeah, between the two of us, so that was really good. In terms of cons, we did get Bali Belly. So Brad got it first out of both ends, poor bloke. and he had a fever and he was really not in bed for a few days, just was not well at all. And then I got it like a few days later. I didn't vomit, which was lucky. And I don't know that I really got a fever. I was hot the whole time. I think that's because I was pregnant and it was like a hot, humid place. So that's another thing to consider if you are traveling while pregnant. Be mindful of where you go and what the weather will be. It was pretty all right. Like I just would take extra breaks. If I was walking somewhere, I'd stop in the shade for a bit, have lots of water, that sort of thing. I did do the steps down to the beach at Uluwatu. I can't remember which beach it was specifically. Went down like the cliff stairs. That was really hard getting back up that. Like really hard. In terms of like weight I've put on while pregnant, I suppose I'm not that big, or I haven't put on that much weight. And so I thought like, oh yeah, I'll be fine. But coming back up, I was so puffed. I think I had like 3 or 4 breaks getting up these stairs and my heart rate was elevated. And yeah, I was like, oh, this probably wasn't the smartest idea. Anyway, I got to the top, so that was awesome. Sleeping and air conditioning. I would recommend if you are going to Bali while pregnant or anywhere hot while pregnant, make sure that your room has decent aircon and that it's a comfy bed. So I was happy to sort of pick somewhere that was more mid-range, still a lot cheaper than Australia, but more of not like it had good reviews for having a comfy bed. So during like the main week, I didn't sleep very well. And I think that impacted me feeling better and feeling energized. Like I felt quite drained. And I think that's because I wasn't really sleeping. What was the other thing? Flights. So definitely recommend doing a direct flight, especially if you're pregnant. There seems to be not much leg room on flights these days. I don't know if that's changed or if that's just standard and what it's always been. And it was quite uncomfortable, especially like the direct flight was good because it was quicker. However, the flight there, or on the way there, we got 2 flights and one of them got moved earlier, the second one. So we had to move the first one earlier and we ended up spending the whole day and night getting to Bali instead of a 6-hour flight. So our second flight stopped in Darwin to refuel as well. So it turned into a very long day and we went halfway around Australia to then get to Bali. That's sort of a summary of the trip and in terms of areas we stayed. We stayed in Canggu and then like 2 different spots in Canggu, and then we stayed in Uluwatu. I loved Uluwatu. We did also go to Ubud, I think it's called, for the day, and went to the water temple, which was such a cool experience to be able to do that. I thought that I wouldn't do it because I was like, oh, the water will be freezing and there's fish in there and I don't know if I want to do that. I'm so glad I did it. So glad I did it. It was really, really cool. And I got to like purify the baby as well, which was awesome. And yeah, had some really good food in that area as well as in Uluwatu. And just the scenery was really pretty in Uluwatu and the beaches were so nice. So yeah, that's a summary of my trip. If you have any questions about going to Bali pregnant, international travel or anything like that, pop them in the comments or send me a message. And I'm really excited to get back into YouTube and sharing my pregnancy journey and just life stuff in general. So if there's anything you would like to see, let me know. See you on the next video.